Hello, my name is Shay Hambling from Creative Computer Solutions, and tonight we are having a free training session again, and we're going to go over how to use Internet Explorer, how to use Google Chrome, how to copy and paste items, uninstalling a program, and then we're going to have a question answers for anything specific that you might want to know. During any time during this broadcast or webinar, on the right side of your screen, as long as you're logged in, you'll be able to ask a question. Just type that in, it'll pop up on my screen here, and I will try to answer all of the questions that we have. So first on our list of today's class is how to use Internet Explorer. I want to start out with Internet Explorer and tell you a little bit how the internet works. So the internet is also known as the cloud. Whenever you hear cloud, that means internet. The internet is a series of computers that are all connected, networked together. So when you go on the internet and you're looking at a website, you are actually pulling a file from another computer that you're viewing on your computer. So it's all stored on different computers all over the world and connected, and that's the internet or the cloud. So let's get into how that works. So how you're accessing stuff on the internet or cloud is through internet browsers. Today, there's several internet browsers. You have Google Chrome, Internet Explorer, Opera, Safari, Firefox. Today, we're going to cover two of the main ones, which is Internet Explorer and Google Chrome. Google Chrome being my favorite. So we're going to start with Internet Explorer because Internet Explorer is the default internet browser that comes on every computer, every Windows-based computer. So I'm using Windows 10. If you are on Windows 10 and you see a big blue E that my mouse is over, that is not Internet Explorer. That is Microsoft Edge. It's a little bit different than Internet Explorer, but I will show you here how to get to Internet Explorer on Windows 10. By default, they don't show it to you because they're trying to transition to Microsoft Edge, but Internet Explorer is still installed on all Windows 10 computers. So if you type in the search bar Internet, you'll see at the very top, Internet Explorer pops up. And what I recommend for Windows 10 users is to right-click and hit Pin to Taskbar. And that'll make it so that it stays on your bottom bar here, easy to access whenever you need it, because Microsoft Edge is not compatible with all the websites yet. So I highly recommend using Internet Explorer, even if you're on Windows 10. So I'm going to click on the big blue E, as I call it, to open up Internet Explorer. And we are now in our internet browser. I'm going to go over just some basics here about the window and what the features do and what they do, and then we'll head over to Google Chrome. So at the top left of the window, you have your forward and back buttons. So when you're on the computer and you're navigating around, say we want to read one of these news stories, how liberal are you? Let's click it, and nope, that opened a new window. Let's open up a different news story. Police, here we go. So we open up the news story here, and we want to get back to the page we were. We can hit back, and that'll take us back to the page that we just came from. And if we wanted to go back to that story, but we don't know where it's at, you can just click forward, and that'll take us back. So these are your forward and back buttons. Or also known as the navigation buttons. A cool little feature about the navigation buttons that most people don't know is that if you click and hold them, it'll pull up a list of your recently viewed websites. So as you see, you can see two of them on there now. And if I click on another story here and another, and I click and hold that button, you'll notice that they start popping up. So you don't have to just go back, 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 back. You can click and hold it, and it'll pull up a list. So that's what the navigations buttons do. And you can do the same thing on forward. You can click and hold it and it'll bring it up. Right next to our navigation buttons, we have our address bar. The address bar is going to give you the title of the current website that you are in. Address bars serve several purposes in an internet browser. The two most popular is first navigating directly to a website that you know. So if you hear a radio advertisement and they're saying, go to www.google.com, you would type that directly up here. And that'll take you directly to the website. And then it'll show you when you're on there the website name, as you can see, google.com. However, if I just typed in Google and hit enter, it's going to do a web search. A web search is going to search the network, the internet, for everything related to Google. So as you see, it pulls up their ticker symbol. Then you have a link down here for their website, and you can do that for anything. So if I searched my store name, you will see it pulls up my website first. On the right side here, it has information about the business, the map, reviews, the whole 9 yards. So, and the other thing cool about the bar is you can actually see what page you are on in a website by looking at the bar. So say I go to the, we'll go to the coupons page here. If you look past that first title and you read, most websites will have, sometimes it looks like jargon, but you can see where you're at on the website through that bar. That is the direct link to that page on the internet. Next, you have on the address bar, you have this search button. If you click on that, it's just going to bring down the same thing as if you started typing. Not a big deal. And after that, you have the go. So if you can go, you can search by hitting enter or by pressing the arrow. And that's the address bar. Let's go back to our home page here. And next along the way, you'll see you have the home button. If you are on another website, so we're on Google and we want to get back to that initial page that first came on when we went on Internet Explorer, you would click the home button and that'll take you directly back to your home page. And I'll show you how to change and customize your home page later. Next to that, we have a star, which is for favorites. So if you visit a website frequently, you would save it to your favorites. So if we visited Google all the time and we wanted to have a quick access to that where we didn't have to type it in, we could click the star and click add to favorites. And you'll see it'll pop up an add to favorite dialog box here, and we would click add. So now if we click the star, if we're on our home page and we click the star, you'll see a list of our favorites and we can click Google. It'll take us directly there. After that, we have our settings, which is the little gear icon, which I'll get into a little bit later. And after that is a little smiley face on Internet Explorer, so you can tell them how much you hate them or love them. All right. So I already gone over how to navigate to a specific website and how to search use the address bar as a search bar. Now I want to show you how to refresh a website. Sometimes websites have live information on them that updates as time goes by. And if you want to see if something has changed on the website or you're having a problem on the website, you can click this little circle arrow here in the address bar, and it'll refresh the site and bring in a new copy of that site to the browser. All right, so in Internet Explorer, you have the option of having multiple tabs open. This is currently a tab that we're in that says msn.com. If we wanted to open up another tab because we wanted to work on multiple sites, if we click to the right here, it'll open up a new tab. And we can use our search bar here. We can do a direct link. We can type in search the web. It'll also show you your frequently visited websites here. So if I want to open up Google, now we can switch between these tabs easily by just clicking on each of those tabs. And to close out a tab is quite simple as well. If we don't need the Google tab anymore and we wanted to clean up our browser here, we could just click the little X here in the tab and it'll close. Now here is a very handy feature when you're using the internet browser. If you are on a page that you are currently working with, but you don't want to get off of that page and you want to open up, for instance, so we're on MSN and we want to open up the sports page, but we don't want to leave this page. We want to stay on this page. If we find the link, and you can recognize links because when your mouse goes over it, most of the time they'll change colors or it'll change from the arrow to the hand. So if we want to open up sports, but we don't want to get off of this home page, we can right click on the link and hit open in new tab. And that'll automatically open a tab right next to our initial tab that we can navigate back and forth between the tabs. And you'll notice when I right click, you have a lot more options as well. You can also open it in a new window, which would open up a whole new instance of Internet Explorer. All right, so now I'm going to go into favorites a little bit. So as I showed you earlier, if you're on a page and you're visiting that page a lot and you click the star, you can click the Add to Favorites button. So, and you can name your favorite whatever you want to name it. So they give it the default name, which is the same name that you would see at the top in the tab. But say you wanted to just change this to fitness and hit add, it'll show up over here whatever you name it on your favorites bar. And so let me add another site here. I'm going to add mine. And so now when we're in favorites, you'll see as you start adding stuff, your list can get quite long. So to organize it is quite simple. If you have let's say you have 4 or 5 banks that you're working with, or 4 or 5 websites all related to one specific subject, if you right click inside of the favorites pull down menu here, I take that back, not right click, sorry. If you click the down arrow over here, you'll have the option to organize favorites. And when you click on organize favorites, it's going to open up a new window here where you can make a new folder. So if we click new folder, you'll see it pops up right away and we can change the name of those to whatever we want. So now we have a folder named banks. We have a folder named sports. Make another one named news. And to organize your favorites, you can just just click on one of the favorites up here and drag it over the folder that you wish to have that one in. So if I move Bing into banks, I'll move Google into sports and fitness into news. You'll notice they disappear and now they're in the folders. And you can rename these folders, you can delete them, you can do a whole bunch of stuff with them, all within this organize favorites dialog box. So Now that we've organized our favorites bar and I close it, once we click this star over here, you'll see now we have folders. And when you click on that folder, you'll see it drops down with the website that you have directed into it. And you'll notice this one folder up here called favorites bar. I'm going to drag all of our stuff into the favorites bar. The favorites bar is very handy for the websites you use the most. So if you're constantly going to your bank, like I do, online, and your favorites bar here, you'll have all your stuff in there now. So, all right, so favorites bar. When you're in your Internet Explorer window here, by right-clicking at the top of the screen, anywhere in this white space, you'll get a context menu. In that context menu, you'll have different options that you can click. Menu bar, favorites bar, command bar, status bar. The only one we're worried about right now is favorites bar. And when I click that, you'll notice this new line right underneath our address bar pops up. And you'll notice everything that we put into our favorites bar is right here. It also has this star with the little arrow thing on it that you can add something to here with just one simple click. And it'll add it right there. You can drag stuff and rearrange it on there. You can go to the organized favorites. But the favorites bar is very handy for websites that you visit most frequently. Okay, so I got a question here. If my official browser is Google Chrome, can I still use Internet Explorer? Yes, you may. You can. Most computers have more than one internet browser on them. You can have up to 10 of them on your computer if you want. I personally, most of the time, have Internet Explorer, Google Chrome, and Firefox on my computers. And most of the time I use Google Chrome, but some websites will not work in certain browsers. So if you're noticing a problem on a certain website, you can open up a different internet browser and go to that browser, and a lot of the times that website will work better in that browser. Okay, so next I want to show you a very handy feature that's built into Internet Explorer. If you are on a website and let's go to Google and you see a picture or whatever that you like. So I'm just going to type in unicorn. So I just searched Google for unicorn and I like this unicorn picture. So let's go to the website here. All right, I like this picture. When you're in Internet Explorer and you right click on a picture, it'll give you a context menu with a lot of options. And if you click Save Picture As, it will actually download it right to your computer. So I hit Save Picture As, and if you were in our class 2 weeks ago, you'll know this menu, this window here, where you can put it in your pictures or your documents, downloads. You can store it right on your desktop, and you can change the name of the file. So I'm going to change it here to just unicorn, and I'm going to save it to my desktop. And that's how you would save a picture right off of the internet. So if you see something on Facebook, a nice picture of your kids or grandkids or whatever, and you want to save it to your computer, right click, save picture as, and it'll save it right to your computer. Another cool option, which is actually normally how I find all my desktop backgrounds, is I hit set as desktop background, and it'll change the background of your computer to the picture that you choose. And that's how you download a picture. So now we're going to get into a little bit more advanced features on Internet Explorer. and that's dealing with our settings over here. So we're going to learn how to customize the home page, manage add-ons, accelerators, and stuff like that in Internet Explorer. So bear with me here. And so I'm going to go ahead and first thing we're going to do is how to customize a home page. So your home page is the first page that pops up when you open up your internet browser. So on this computer right now, it's set to msn.com. So I want to change the home page to this computer to, let's go with my website. So I want to change the home page to this computer to my website. You would do that by clicking on the settings button at the top right. It looks kind of like a gear. And you have internet options. It's the second one from the bottom. So on internet options, they make it really easy once you find the internet options button here. You'll see right here it says homepage. To create a homepage tabs, type each address on its own line. And you can also, instead of typing, you can just hit use current. So now I just told it to use the current website that's in the address bar, and then I'll hit apply and OK. And now you'll notice when I open up Internet Explorer, it'll go directly to the page that I told it to. So if you are commonly using several websites that you go to every time you come on, you can actually set your home page to several different pages. So now you'll see I have 3 tabs open. So if I go to the settings, internet options, you'll see it brings up my dialog box again, and I hit use current, you'll see it adds 3 lines. And when I hit apply and OK, and I close it, and when I reopen it, you'll notice all 3 tabs open now. So that's a very handy feature to know, because lots of websites and programs change your homepage, and they do it, it's kind of sneaky. They do it just because they want you to always go to their website instead of going to where you want to go. So it's very handy. It happens to all of us where it'll change the homepage on us. So that's a very common feature that gets used in Internet Explorer. Okay, so now I want to show you accelerators on Internet Explorer. So when you're on a website, and as you see, we're on ours, and you right-click on the page, you'll see a tab here that says All Accelerator. And these are current things that are added into Internet Explorer. Most of the time, the only thing people use is translate. So if you're trying to read the page in Spanish or German or whatever, you can click this accelerator, translate with Bing, and you can set the language that you want it to translate to. So if I want to change this page to German, I set it over here to German and click on it, and you'll notice well, their accelerator didn't work. It's supposed to change the page to German. Let's try a different website here. There we go, this one works. So as you can see now, the website is in German. I don't know why it didn't work on mine, but whatever. So again, right click, all accelerators, and you'll see the translate. You can set it up to whatever language you want, and then click on the translate, and it'll bring up that website in that language. And then you can change it up here. Now, if you hit if you're on all accelerators again, I right click all accelerators, you can manage and find more accelerators. So when I hit find more accelerators, you'll notice it opened up a new tab here, and you'll see Add Block Plus. This is something that we talked about last week as well, but there's tons of stuff here that you can go through and search, and there's tons of different accelerators. The most popular being the Translate and the AdBlock Plus. Now I want to show you how to view your browsing history. So if you were on a website today and tomorrow you were like, you couldn't find that website again, but you know you were on it today, if you click on the favorites star again here, you'll notice at the top you have feeds and history. History will show you everything that you visited in a date format. You can also change it to view by site, by most visited, and you can also search, because obviously this is a very clean copy of Internet Explorer, but over time this thing would be filled, and you can search. So if you know a keyword, you can just type in computer, and as you'll see, it'll bring up all those pages that we were on that had the word computer. You can also, if you right click on your history, you can delete individual items. So if I wanted to get rid of this, I can just hit delete, and that'll be gone out of my history. If you wanted to clear your whole history, you would actually do that again under settings and internet options. And you'll see farther out, so you have homepage, startup, tabs, and browsing history. If you hit delete, it'll pull up another window here. And I always recommend preserving the favorites website data. That helps the websites load faster that you're commonly on. And so it only does that for those that are in your favorites. It'll delete any temporary internet files. Every time you go onto a website, it actually downloads little files onto your computer of every picture and the items that are on the website. It'll delete your history. You can delete your download history, so you can delete those. By default, it's not checked. You can delete form data. So if you commonly, when you go to sign up for a website or fill in information, you'll notice certain things will pop up automatically, like your name or username. If you click on the form data, that'll actually delete, and it will not autofill for you until you've done it again. The same thing with saved passwords. So if you have a lot of saved passwords and you want to clear out your internet, you would check on the passwords checkbox here. And you can also do it with the websites that are these are it's kind of hard to explain, but this is more of a security feature. But by default, it has all of these checked here, which is the recommended. And as soon as you hit delete and apply OK, if I go to my history, you'll notice it's all gone. So that clears up a lot of room if you're browsing the internet a lot and you have a lot of stuff stored on your computer from that, your cookies and stuff like that, and the little pictures. It caches small pictures of all the websites on your computer. So that clears up all that use space there. The next feature I want to show you is how to browse in private. So because everything autofills and history and stuff like that, say you're birthday shopping for your wife and you don't want her to know what website you were on as you were looking for her new diamond ring. Uh, Under the settings tab here, Sorry, I got lost for a second. Under the settings tab, you'll have the safety. And under safety, you'll see again another way to get to the delete browsing history. You'll have in private browsing. So in private browsing is not going to store anything you do on the internet on your computer. So by clicking this, you'll notice it opens up a new window, and next to my address bar, you'll see in private. So if I search diamond ring that I misspell, here we go, and I go to this website, so now we've searched all these websites and in private, and we found our diamond ring for the wife, and we close it out. You'll notice nothing will show up in the history for the in private browsing. And one more feature I would like to show you, or actually two more features I want to show you in Internet Explorer, uh, is it notifies you of certain things that are going on in Internet Explorer down here at the bottom of the screen with these little dialog boxes. So if you're on a website, for instance, we provide remote support for people and they have to download a little file to their computer. So if I click on this remote support button, it's actually going to download a file to this computer. So let's click on that, and you'll notice this bar down here changed, and it gives you the option of run, save, or cancel. If you click run, it's not going to save it to your computer, and it's just going to run that file. If you click save, it'll save the item to your downloads folder, and it will also run the file. But it'll give you a bunch of notifications down here whenever you download something or something isn't working right. And the other feature I want to show you is, let's see here, let me go to my support plan page and click on as if I'm going to buy something. Okay, so you can always tell if a website is secured by this lock emblem that'll show up on secured websites. And also you'll notice the address bar. When I'm on my website, you'll notice these first four letters are HTTP. When you're on a secured site, it'll be HTTPS. So those are two different ways to know that you're secure, which is very important to know that you're secure when you're on your bank or when you're about to buy something. Never buy something from a website that does not have this lock on their checkout page. And that about covers Internet Explorer. If anybody has any questions on Internet Explorer, feel free to type them in, and I'll go ahead and answer those. And in the meantime, I'm going to jump into Google Chrome. So Google Chrome looks like this beach ball looking thing here, and this is Google's version of an internet browser. This will be a lot quicker than Internet Explorer because a lot of the items are, a lot of things you do on Google Chrome, you do exactly the same way in Internet Explorer, which makes it easy when switching between internet browsers. So if I click on Google Chrome to open it up, you'll notice my home page is Google. I have my favorites bar, which in Google Chrome, they call them bookmarks, not favorites. You have your forward backwards navigation, your refresh, which is reload. You have your search bar or an address bar, which is the same. You have your star over here for bookmarks. And then you have these three little lines for your settings. So some of the things that are different about Google Chrome from Internet Explorer. One, Google Chrome is much more secure. Internet Explorer has the ability to change stuff directly in your system file folder where Google Chrome does not. So it can't, I mean, it can, but it's not as likely to mess up your computer if you accidentally click on something that shouldn't be done. It also is a much faster internet browser. It was designed to be fast, to run what we call web applications. So it's very quick when you're on any website that uses dynamic data, which is just about every website nowadays. So a couple different things in Google Chrome. One of the features I like about it is that you can actually sign into Google Chrome. So as you'll see at the top right, you'll see my name, Shay, up here. And when I'm signed into Google Chrome, it remembers my favorites bar, and my form data and passwords. And so if I go on to another computer or on my phone, if I'm using Google Chrome on my phone and you're signed into it, it syncs all your data. So you don't have to save your favorites on each computer. So if you have a home up north and one down here, every setting change that you make down here will be exactly the same up there. So it's a really nifty feature. And to sign in on Chrome, you would click the three lines over here for the settings, and there would be a sign in thing here. Obviously, I'm already signed in, so it's not showing. And there'll also be an empty thing here that you could click to sign in as well. So Google Chrome, for the private browsing, they call it incognito. So you'll see if I click on the three lines here, you'll have new incognito window. And you'll see they put a little spy guy. That's how they um, show you that it's in private. And to change the home page, you would click on here and click settings, and that'll actually bring up a new page here. And on Google Chrome, it's a little bit harder to change the home page because it's a little bit hidden. But if you look under the sign in, you have on startup, you can tell it what to do. So you have open the new tab page, which looks like this. So it'll bring up your frequently used in a Google search bar. You have continue where you left off. So whatever your Google Chrome looked like the last time you closed it, it'll open up directly to those pages. And then you have open a specific page or set of pages. And you'll notice over here the little blue button that says set pages. This is how you would set your home page. So again, they have the use current. So if I wanted it to be, let's go msn.com. If I wanted it to be MSN in settings, I can hit use current pages. And it actually popped up a whole bunch because I have another Chrome browser open running the Google Hangouts that we're doing right now. So if I close these out, there we go. So now this is just the current tab that I have open, and hit OK. Next time I open it up, it'll come directly to the MSN page. Google Chrome automatically will translate website, give you the option to translate websites for you. You don't have to use an accelerator. So let's see if I can find a German website here or a Spanish website. Let's see here. I'm going to go to the German eBay. And I forgot I turned my translator off. However, this top bar, when you're on a website that's in a different language on Google Chrome, will pop up and ask you if you want to translate it, and you'll select your image. Or select your language, my bad. And just like Internet Explorer, when you download a file, it'll pop up on the bottom. However, it won't be in the middle. It'll be on the bottom left. So I downloaded the file. You'll see it pop up over here. And to get the options, it automatically is going to save it to your computer. You don't get the option of running or saving. It automatically saves it to the computer. But if you hit this down arrow right next to it, it'll ask you what you want to do with that file. So you can click open or show in folder or pause the download. And that pretty much covers Google Chrome. Like I said, they're very similar on how you use them. I do recommend using Google Chrome over Internet Explorer. And the first time, if you don't have Google Chrome on your computer, you can very easily download it just by typing in the search bar on Internet Explorer, Google Chrome, and you'll see the first thing is get Google Chrome. And you can hit the download Chrome button and it'll automatically start working for you. So I canceled it there. And when you install Google Chrome, if you have a bunch of favorites on Internet Explorer, it'll ask you if you want to import those over to the Google Chrome browser. So you don't have to worry about saving your data again. So now I want to go into how to copy and paste. So if you are working on a Word document here, let me open up my Word file. So if you're typing something and you wanted to repeat that, you can easily copy something by right-clicking and hitting copy. And if you wanted to have that put somewhere else on a different Word document or in the internet or whatever, you can right-click and hit paste. You'll see in Internet and Word, you get paste options. Keep source formatting so it'll look exactly the same. Merge the formatting so it combines the two ways it looked, and then paste as plain text. And you can do that as many times as you want. It stays on it goes to a clipboard every time you copy something. And so that's how you copy and paste with text. So I can copy this over here, and if I'm in Google Chrome and I wanted to search for that in my address bar, I can right-click and hit paste. You can do the same thing that you can do with text. You can do that with files and folders as well. Or say that you're on a website and you wanted to copy the text from that website to send in an email or whatever. If you hold your mouse button and highlight the wording that you wanted to copy and right-click and hit copy, you could take that over to a Word document or to your email and paste it, and you'll notice it copies everything over. And again, on files and folders, you can do it the same way. So if I wanted to copy this user manual folder here, I can right-click, hit copy, and wherever I want to paste it, If I want to paste it in my downloads folder, I can hit right click and paste, and you'll see it's copying it. So it makes a new copy of that. You can do the same thing with your files, or my bad, with your applications or end item, by right clicking and copy, and right click and paste. So it's quite easy to copy and paste something. Certain instances, it becomes very handy. I actually use it a lot when I'm doing my internet marketing, or have to send the same email to a bunch of people, but I don't want to put the email, uh, the names all in one item in one email. And now we will go into how to uninstall a program. If you have any questions on copying and pasting, feel free to type them and I will answer them. But until then, I'm going to go into how to uninstall a program. So in Windows 7 and if you click on the Start button, you will, on the right side of the Start menu, you'll see a thing that says Control Panel. In Windows 8 and in Windows 10, if you click the little icon, if you right click that icon, the control panel will be listed in here. And the other way to get to the control panel is through the search bar, which Windows 7, Windows 8 both have, and Windows 10, and you can just type in control panel. And as you notice, I barely started typing it and it popped up. And in your control panel, you'll see a item called programs. And right underneath that, you'll see uninstall a program. Your control panel might also look a little bit different. It might look like this, where you would just search for programs right there. So you have programs and features. But either way, it's pretty much the same thing, because if I click on programs, it comes here to programs and features. And when you click on that, you will get a list of every application that is installed in your computer. It'll show you when it was installed on, which is very handy. It'll show you the publisher, so who made the program, and the version of that program, and also how big the program is. And the reason the installed on date is so important is because when you're on the internet these days, or you're opening emails, these companies like to trick you into installing programs that you don't want. And next thing you know, you have a bunch of junk software opening up on your computer. So if you click on these title bars here, are all organizable. So if you click on it, it'll change it. So you'll see now it has the latest installed on down to the earliest, or you can click it again and it'll reverse it. So whenever you think you got a junk program installed on your computer, it's very easy to tell by clicking the installed on time. And if you didn't install anything and there's a date for that date, or a recent date that you did not install, you know it's a junk program. And so once you find that junk program, or you find that program that you want to get rid of that you never use, it's very easy to uninstall. You'll click on the program name over here, and you'll notice when I click on it up top, it opens up not opens, it'll show you a new option. And here you have uninstall and change. So if you click on that, it'll bring up the uninstaller for that program. And it's very simple. You just have to read, and boom, that program is uninstalled. And I can do it again with another program. And you'll notice each of the uninstallers are different. They'll have different wording for you. And hit yes. And It was successfully removed from my computer. And I'll even show you another one. So any program you don't want on your computer that you don't use, I do recommend uninstalling it, because certain programs will run stuff in the background that takes up resources from your computer, and it'll slow it down. So if you're not using it, get rid of it. And a very cool feature about this is you can uninstall anything in here and it will not hurt your computer. It might take away a feature, but it will not hurt it. So if you're unsure of what the program does, you can just write me an email, or you can search it on Google, and I can let you know what that program does and whether or not you should uninstall it or not. But you really don't have to be worried about uninstalling anything in here. It won't cause any major damage to your computer. These are all just applications. They're not system files. So they won't make your computer where it doesn't work. And another cool feature that since we're in here, I'll show you, if you have a program and it's not working right, you think it used to work a different way, or it just seems to be glitching out on you. If you click on that program, you'll notice sometimes you get the change up here. So you have uninstall and change. So if you hit change, it'll bring up a menu that has a repair button. And you can click the repair button, and it basically reinstalls the program over the old installation without deleting any of your data about that program. And a lot of times that'll fix it. And that concludes our agenda. If you have any questions or answers, I'll stay on here and keep talking for a couple minutes. Any specific questions, feel free to go ahead and ask. And I hope you found this class useful. I know there's a lot of little features in Internet Explorer, so I tried to touch on the main ones. However, it gets a lot more in depth than that. But those are the main features, the most commonly used features. And so hopefully you got some use and some knowledge out of this. And again, if you have any questions, just type them in there and I'll go ahead and answer them. You can also email me anytime and I'll try to get back to you. I'll show you some cool features in Google Chrome here. I'll wait to see if anybody has any questions. Google was really cool, and they built in different items into their internet browser, their search engine. For instance, if you type in a flight number, let's type in flight, I'm guessing on a flight number here, 1157, and I click it. Nope, that's not a good flight. Let's see here, 456. Nope, not a good flight. All right, let's find a good flight here. Uh, 750. All right, flight 1095. No, I hope they didn't change it. It looks like they took out the feature. I'm sorry, I lied. There used to be a built-in flight tracker on Google, which was kind of cool. but oh well. You can type in timer, and Google will automatically bring up a timer or a stopwatch. So if you want your kid to read for 30 minutes or whatever, you can set your timer, and obviously when you have it set, you can just hit start and it'll start counting down, or stopwatch to see how long. Oh, you know what I forgot about? I forgot about Google Maps. Let me show you Google Maps real quick. I forgot we were going to cover that. All right, Google Maps. So you can search Google Maps and you'll notice their website comes up, maps.google.com. And that brings up Google Maps. So Google Maps is used for finding businesses, looking at traffic, finding directions, restaurants, whatever you want to do. So first I'll go over how to find directions. You type in wherever you're looking for. So if you're looking for creative computer solutions, it'll search and it'll find creative computer solutions for you. And once you're on creative computer solutions, you'll see up here it has the directions. And if you click on that, it'll bring up this here where you can type in your starting point. So if you type in your address, it'll give you your different routes that you could choose. So you can go via Santa Barbara. I just went from my parents' house. You can go from Country Club or Pelican. And once you click on that, it'll give you directions. And you can print those directions out, or you can share them with the link through email, or however you want to do. And that's how you do directions. You can also add in other destinations by clicking the plus button. So if you're going on a long trip, you can add in another destination and go on and on and on. I don't think they have a limit on destinations, but you can plan out your whole trip in directions right there. And if I go back to our search, you can also search if you're looking for a store that has multiple locations, like let's use Walmart. No, better yet, let's use Walgreens. Type in Walgreens, it'll pull up all the Walgreens locations around you, so you can find the one that's closest to your house. If I close that out and I click on the menu button over here, it has different options on Google Map. If you want to see how the traffic's looking, you can click on traffic and you can zoom in with the plus and minus over here, or you can do it with your mouse scroll bar and it'll show you the up-to-date live traffic on all the roads. So green means you're good, red means it's obviously stopped, which you'll see a lot at traffic lights, and yellow means it's slow. You also have Google Earth View. So if you click on Earth, it'll show you a satellite imagery. So if we wanted to go ahead and look at Sunsplash from a satellite view, you can zoom in pretty close. So you could actually type in an address on the satellite view. And let's type in the store address, 4709 Coronado Parkway. And I zoom in, and that's what the roof of the store looks like. But you can do it with houses. So if you want to see what your house looks like, go on Google Maps and you can search it, and you get a pretty good view of your house. Though the images aren't up to date. They take them every couple years. So in the more populated areas, I think they do it more often, but they're not current, up to the minute. You can also see bicycling paths. You can see the transit lines. If you're looking at directions and you click transit, it'll show you what buses to hop on or trains in the bigger cities. And you can also look at terrain. Not really in Florida, we don't have terrain. And one other very cool feature with Google Maps is, let me get back onto the regular map view here. Let's click traffic. No, sorry, click off the earth. All right, so we're back on the map view. If I wanted to see, they have a street view built in. So if I want to see, if I'm going to a store and I'm not sure how their parking was, or I'm going to somebody's house and I want to see what it looks like before I get there, if you search the address, so we'll search my store address again, you'll see it takes me down here. This little guy over here, it's like a little yellow guy. If you click on him and drag him, you'll notice the streets highlight in a green color. You can place him anywhere on the street. And when you do that, it'll take you down to an actual street view. So this is what my store looks like from the front. And when you're on that street, you can drag it and look all around, and you'll see here where my mouse is, there's an arrow. If I click on that and double click on it, it'll take you down the road and you can travel a route or whatever you want to do. If you want to cross the street here, and then you can, once you're at something, you'll see the square. If you do that, it'll kind of focus in on that one spot. So if I want to focus in on this window here, it'll drag me over. So Street View is pretty cool if you're looking for a store but you're not sure what it looks like. And they've actually incorporated Street View into some of the bigger shopping malls. I don't know if Edison Mall has it. Let's find out. Nope, Edison Mall doesn't have it. But some of the bigger places, they have it where you can actually look in the mall. Yeah, Edison Mall doesn't have it. And that's Google Maps. So it's really handy for finding directions. And if you do have a Android smartphone, you can actually send it directly to your phone. So once you have directions or the location of a place, you hit send to phone and it'll pop up on your phone. So you don't have to search it on your phone. Pretty handy. So I don't see any questions, so we'll go ahead and finish off today's class here. I do plan on doing another class next week. Send me an email or suggestions of anything that you want covered, and we'll go from there. Again, if you have any questions, feel free to email me or give us a call at 239-541-5441. And thank you guys very much. I appreciate it. And have a good night.